Eyewitness News uncovers a divorce disaster. It's a bitter divorce battle involving a high-profile FedEx pilot.
The case is at the center of charges of police misconduct, sexual and child abuse, and even a defamation lawsuit. And get this, when we started looking into it, a judge sealed the case file, even though that may have violated the law. Eyewitness News Chief Investigator Jenny DiPrizio has been digging into the documents of this case, and this case sounds like quite a mess, Jenny.
It really is. You know, we've been getting a lot of pressure from places to kill this story. But, you know, you often hear how there are many different sides to a story. There are two sides. Well, there are so many sides to this story, it feels like a Rubik's Cube.
Not the Stafford shoes. You love them as much as I do. More.
In the 1989 movie, The War of the Roses, a bitter divorce plays out on the big screen.
These are all my files right there.
Danielle Melmquist says what happened to her isn't fiction.
I've lost both children. I lost my home. I don't have any finances. I've lost everything.
Danielle says before she and Shem Melmquist got married in October of 2004, her husband had already begun planning their divorce.
I thought we were marrying each other to set up a family, but obviously he had pre-planned to marry me just to take the kids. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Danielle has filed dozens of police reports. One claims her husband raped her. Another claims he soaked one of the children in gasoline. Yet another claims he attacked her outside her apartment. She says she's been followed, and she says this videotape proves that. It was shot by the private investigator, she says, hired by Shem Melmquist.
They follow me over to pick up my children. They follow me to the playground. I cannot leave. It almost got to a point where they became just part of my daily activity. And a lot of money was spent on them.
And here's where the story takes another turn. The private investigator who shot the video is married to Memphis police officer Michael Aiken. Melmquist says Aiken has used his police powers to intimidate her. And she says she can prove it. She has a copy of a check her husband wrote to the cop. Shem Melmquist admits he wrote the check, but says it was for work the cop's wife did as a private investigator. Danielle Melmquist says something more sinister is going on.
I have not been heard. I've gone to the police department. I've begged for them to investigate the matters, and nothing gets investigated.
Instead, Danielle says she's the one who ends up in trouble. Earlier this month, she was arrested for harassment.
It's all been done in retaliation of me filing charges against these police officers.
Danielle Melmquist has also been arrested in Germantown for domestic violence and filing a false report. In both cases, the charges were dropped. She expects the harassment charge will be dropped too.
Danielle doesn't even have the children.
Gail Mathis is Danielle Melmquist's attorney.
All of these forces, when you start putting them together, they start building a picture, like some kind of fill-in-the-blank question. When you work out, when you put the blanks together, you come up with the concept that there is something tragic going on here.
Just like there are many combinations to a Rubik's Cube, there are many sides to this story. Shem Melmquist and his attorney have decided not to go on camera and talk about this. Same with the private investigator and the police officer husband.
Shem Melmquist is now suing his wife for defamation. The suit claims she's tried to wreck his character and reputation. It claims she's filed false reports. The suit also claims she's made countless false claims about his raping her, committing child abuse, and physical abuse. In a deposition, Shem Melmquist testified he's afraid of Danielle. An attorney asks, so you married her out of fear? He says yes.
And many times it's like trying to stop a runaway train.
Retired Judge George Brown has seen a lot of divorces in his years on the bench. Brown says,
I mean, it sounds like you have a situation, he say, she say, so you don't really know the truth.
Melmquist was also blogging much of what happened on a website. Her lawyer says the judge strongly suggested she take down the site.
It's strictly we want to seal your lips issue. We don't want you out there talking about your story.
All of this legal maneuvering isn't cheap. Three sources close to the case say Shem Melmquist's attorney fees are already hundreds of thousands of dollars.
The motivations here are win at all costs. for Mr. Malmquist.
According to court records, Shem Malmquist paints a picture of an unstable wife and mother to fear. Danielle says she thinks her Asian background is being used against her. She also says if she acts crazy, it's because she almost never gets to see her children.
I'm fighting for them. They're my entire lives, and I'm not going to stop fighting for them.
The question is, who to believe? A judge is expected to decide that in February.
The claims Danielle Malmquist are making in her divorce case are very similar to those made by Shem Malmquist's previous wife, Rebecca. When Rebecca filed these papers in her case against Shem, she claimed physical and verbal abuse against her children. Shem Malmquist's attorney did issue a statement saying the Malmquist case is properly before the court. The judge is extremely competent and the guardian ad litem. I have total confidence that the best interest of the Malmquist children will be protected. Germantown police also won't comment, according to their spokesman, because of a possible pending civil litigation surrounding the arrest of Danielle Malmquist and how the detectives handled the case.
All right, Denny. Now, according to the Memphis police spokesperson, Officer Michael Aiken is facing disciplinary charges. The officer's wife says her husband used department computers to look up information about Danielle Malmquist without permission. The private investigator admitted her husband broke department rules. She also says she has been targeted by Danielle and fears her. Danielle Malmquist's attorney has filed this emergency petition for a restraining order against the PI and the cop. It claims they are harassing and stalking her.